guys, so in this video, I'm gonna show you a modification to the combat stretch. So if you have a hard time getting on and off the floor, and you can't do the combat stretch, which is in a different video, this is gonna be a great modification for you. All you need is some type of surface that is about this high, a bench, your couch, preferably something more stable than a couch, but a hard surface about, 2 feet tall, kind of approximately, all right? So I'm gonna be off camera just so you can see most of the angles working in my ankles and knees and hips, okay? So the combat stretch is something that we do in this position here, okay? And so since some people can't get on their knees all the time, knee replacements, back issues, balance, vertigo, those kind of things, this is a great modification. So the combat stretch primarily focuses on increasing mobility in the ankle by increasing the amount that you can, what we call dorsiflex, okay? This is actually going to help your overall knee and hip mobility in a roundabout way because you'll be able to lunge and squat and deadlift more appropriately because we create relief on tension in the Achilles tendon and other tendons that run back here. And we allow your body to go into more dorsiflexion here. So what you want to do is start with your base leg. It might be off camera, but your base leg is off further out, okay? You want to sit into your hip, and then from here, you want your toes pointing at about a 45-degree angle from your stance. If my hips are facing this way, I'm off at about 45 degrees, maybe a little bit wider, okay? And you could go, depending on how mobile your hips are, you could go as wide as like 180, okay? Now from here, I'm gonna take my knee and I'm gonna translate my knee forward, but I'm not going to let my heel leave the surface that I'm standing on. Now you'll notice I'm actually pretty flexible, so a lot of people can't even get into this position because the pressure on their knee or their hip or their ankle. Now when I'm doing this, it's important that you don't let the heel come off the surface, okay? And it's also important that you try to curl your toes up as you do it, okay? So don't just let your foot stay relaxed. You want to curl the toes up. You see I can lift my toes off the surface of the box here while keeping my heel in contact. This specifically is going to stretch because we're contracting these muscles and tendons, and thus the antagonists are stretching and being given relief so we can stretch deeper. By tilting in this angle, we'll be able to, like I said, squat and lunge deeper with more appropriate form, so it'll actually help your mobility overall in your knees and hips in those movements. But we're focusing specifically on the ankle joint here. Okay, and then you want to come out and relax, take a deep breath. Exhale, lift the toes, slide forward, don't let the heel come off, and you'll feel some relief in this area. There is going to be some pressure in your knee because you are going into a very flexed position on the knee, so you want to be a little bit careful. That's why I say start with your base leg back further. That will put more of your weight backwards and allow you to slowly get into this movement. Now, if you're ready for something more advanced, you go forward, and in this situation, it's okay to let your knee translate past your toes, okay? When we squat and deadlift, we talk about not doing that unless you're over 6 feet, 6'1". Your knees really shouldn't go past your toes. But when we're just doing this stretch on the ankle, it's a lower amount of resistance on your knee. So as long as it doesn't hurt, this is an okay thing to do for this stretch. And you would just do repetitions of that, inhaling and exhaling as you stretch, and holding for a number of seconds that works for you. I recommend, a minimum of 8 to 12 seconds. Some people want to go 30 seconds. If it feels good to do 60 seconds, do whatever works for you. Okay, and then we'll show you the other angle here so you can see the backside, okay? Base leg is further out. Sit into my hip, slowly slide forward. I'm going to raise my toes off, keep the heel in contact, stretch right here. If I go further, you see how my heel now has started to rise off the box. I want to back it up a little bit and stay there, keeping my toes pulling off of the box. Okay, I'm going to come back, I'm going to inhale and relax, exhale, and go forward, relieving tension there until the heel starts to come off the surface. Okay? And that is going to be your modified combat stretch that's going to help your dorsiflexion of your foot and the mobility and flexibility in your ankles so that you can squat and lunge and do lower body movements with better form and technique. And that will help you to get deeper into those movements, thus working quads and glutes and hamstrings and whatever else it is in that movement that you're trying to work, okay? Try that stretch. Let me know how it goes and leave your comments and questions below. Thanks, guys. See ya.